Hello, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to show you the arena my friends and I have built on our realm. It's really cool, and I thought it might be a little bit of inspiration for some of you out there who have some worlds with your friends to mess around with. So, like I said, here's the arena. I'll fly up, give you a little overview. It's not too terribly big, but it's nice. It's nice. We don't have it lit up either, in case you want to do some mob fighting training, get some swings in. But yeah, other than that, I mean, if we're here, we just sleep all the time, so mob spawning really isn't a problem. The other thing you might be a little concerned about is all the heads. So yeah, whenever we kill someone, we just put their head wherever they died, and it was just kind of like a spur of the moment thing that we did, and it's just kind of fun. It tells a little bit of a story, you know. Um, so yeah, we've got some structures here to act as like little cover. Um, Mess around with. We're throwing in some trees, trying some new stuff. I want to add a couple of like redstone pops of cover that like come out, come back down, stuff like that. I think it'd be cool. Um, but yeah, the real fun thing that I want to show you guys about this that I just put in is this automated system. So, if you're wondering what we use for equipment, we don't use our netherite stuff because, if you've ever fought someone with netherite, it takes forever to kill them, and it just really isn't fun. So what we do is we ditch all of our gear, we take a wooden sword, a bow, a shield, and some arrows, and then we just go at it. So obviously, with the wooden sword especially, the durability is not super crazy high. So I tried to come up with a fun way to get your gear back when it breaks and get you out of here. I'm going to install one on both sides, but currently I just have this one. It was a pain to try and figure out. I did it pretty much all just like in a testing world, just throwing stuff together. I didn't really look at any guides, so it's probably not as nice as it could be. But so you push a button, right? You're out of, I think this was a shield. Yeah, boom, there it comes. Just right up, out of the ground. Super fun. And I added a little bit of a delay, so you can't just like spam it, you know? You gotta be a little bit strategic about it. And you don't really, unless you like have used it for a while, you don't know exactly where it's gonna be coming from. So, it's not just like you can hide back here, spam arrows, and just keep hitting arrows, you know? You gotta be a little bit strategic about it. So yeah, you've got the shield, you've got the sword, and you got the bow. Obviously, I need to add item frames so people know. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. But then you also have the arrows over here, which dispenses a full stack right up out in the ground. So, oops, I already had a couple. That's awkward. Yeah, so yeah, there's that. Um, I thought it was pretty cool, just a fun thing to add. And I'll move into my testing world and show you a bit of the guts, if you will. Hello everyone, now we're in my redstone testing world and I'll show you a bit more about how this funky contraption works. So as you can see, the exact same as the ground pops up. Cool. So, as you can see, there's a good bit, but really it's not a lot of stuff once you get down to the nitty gritty. There are kind of some tough parts, but it's not really bad. We'll start, I think, with moving this block. So basically, all you need to do is have a piston, retract that block, and then another set of pistons retracting those two out of the way. And you can see this green line here is for getting that block out of the way, and the pink for retracting them. All that does is make way for the piston slime block launcher to launch the item up to the top. Really not too shabby. So this block right here pretty much controls all of that. Once it gets powered, it'll activate the block and then the pistons and then the slime launcher down here. So you can see that I have everything set up to be like perfectly timed to all line up. So yeah, that's kind of that bit. Moving up to the actual activation, you've got the 4 different buttons for the items, and those activate T flip-flops using leaf stone, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that. It's the first time that I've actually implemented that in one of my own builds, so pretty proud of it. Um, if you don't know how leaf stone works, leaf blocks have two states. Basically, it's like connected to wood or not connected. And so what you do is push the log blocks onto leaves, and that connection reaches out to 6 different leaf blocks. So what you do is go down 6 leaf blocks, and then you put observers at the bottom. Since this 6th block is either just the bottom one or the one above the observers, you're not activating any of the ones on the side, so just the observers you want activated will be activated. So it's pretty cool, pretty nice solution to that. Once I hit any one of these buttons, it'll send that change down, and then these observers take out that input and will activate the right droppers. Okay, so now looking at what these outputs actually do. So for instance, this white line here, we actually have coming out of the back. So when that sword button is hit, it's going to send a signal both to, first off, this one sends it to our main circuits here, which starts all the piston movements, and then it's also going to send one out the back around to this redstone torch tower to power up the dropper. You can see here, like, this side's kind of a bit of a scrambled mess just to try and make sure the lines don't cross, but we can actually kind of have them cross going one way, that's to power this pink block, but then the opposite ways we actually don't have them cross, so the right droppers are still getting powered. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. The real difficult part about this would be the arrow dispensers, in my opinion. This design is from Mumbo Jumbo. Basically, when you get a button input, this piston will move the observers together, which creates kind of like a quick pulse for eight pulses, which powers these 4 dispensers 8 times to give a full stack of items. He does a much better job of explaining it in his video. I'll leave a pinned comment so you can take a look at that. And then the only other thing that I needed a little tutorial on was this pulse extender. With the buttons being all the way up here and taking the outputs from an observer, observers only give 1 tick pulses, so we have to extend that to the exact same length as a stone button push for this device to work. And that's what this little guy does here. He lengthens it to the length of a button push, so it's simulating that to give the right length for our dispensers. And that's really all there is to it. I kind of feel like I've given enough of different angles and whatnot if you want to build this for yourself. If you guys want me to build like an actual block for block tutorial for it, I can. Um, I'm not the best at redstone, but I would love to show you what I can, and maybe you guys can show me some new stuff too. So yeah, that's all I got for this quick little redstone video. If you're on a multiplayer world and you're just trying to get some friends together, do some stuff, get some hype going on the world, this could be a great way to do that. I just wanted to throw out some ideas out there. So yeah, have fun, and I'll see you next time.